Another day on site. Welcome to episode 2 of the classiest apartments under construction in Naka estate, Nakuru. Episode 1, I showed you the animation. I showed you what we are doing here. It was groundbreaking. Today we are on episode 2. I am not on the ground. I am actually on first floor. Need to have a first floor already, I am already on first floor. But for more information, Wilson here, the director of Concept Builders, who have designed and now they are building this apartment. He will let us know more. Wilson.
How are you? How about you?
I'm good. Now, I'm just impressed. Yes. You know, I usually say I'm a real estate enthusiast. And one of the things that give me some kind of satisfaction is seeing just a bare ground transformed into a structure and eventually transformed into the final whatever.
Exactly.
A building. Kwanza kitu ya kwanza naona machuma hapa ni nono. Hizi ni ma D20 ama?
Combination of D20.
For the columns that is.
Columns is we are doing D20s. Yeah.
D20. Yeah, unajua niliambiwa being in the field, niliambiwa naweza soma hapo kwa chuma.
It's normally denoted. Even the manufacturer is also noted. If you look closely, you see the name of the manufacturer. This is Kifaru.
This is Kifaru.
Yes.
Oh, so see Dave Kitundi anauza chuma?
No. There's all.
You know me, I used to think every chuma in Kenya.
No.
Oh, yeah.
There are different manufacturers. Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
Now this
but
one
all of them are adhering to international standards of standardization.
Of course.
Yes.
Okay. So now, where do we start? We start anywhere. Kitu ya kwanza naona columns zimesimama proper. Hizo mbili ndio nimeangalia.
Oh, hizo.
Alafu umefunga nini hiyo? Hiyo ni net ama?
Hiyo ni Hessian cloth. Ama sack cloth.
The essence yake?
Ama gunia. I think you notice there's a gentleman moving around with a hosepipe.
Sure. Yeah.
When he's curing. Curing is now that pouring of water on that concrete column. Is that one of the functions Hessian cloth is to reduce evapotranspiration. The rate at which water is escaping into the air. Number 2, retain water, make sure that it is curing the concrete.
So typically it's an efficient method of curing.
Yes.
Unlike just spraying water on the...
No, that one directly, you're going to lose that moisture to the atmosphere, particularly on sunny days. So evaporation will take place very fast. So the intended function of that process of curing is not effectively achieved. Now to increase efficiency and effectiveness, that's now where we jacket them with the Hessian cloth, are all round. So when you're curing, when you're pouring water onto them, they don't lose that moisture as fast, but they retain it, and now we're able to cure our columns effectively as desired and as intended.
Nice, thank you so much. Let me ask a layman's question.
Uliza tu.
Mbona kila column naona iko na chuma 10?
That's a structural specification. If you go back to our notes, when we did the first video, you remember I told you one thing. When we do what we call test pits, test pits are we excavate into the ground, we look at the soil profile. So we are informed by the soil structure, the kind of reinforcement we require in relationship to the kind of building we want to put up. So the number of bars on each column are structural specification by design to anticipate the kind of building and load we are going to be accumulating as we go up.
They are known as bars. At least I'm learning bars, Asian cloth.
That was school fees.
Soon nitaanza kutoa school fees sasa ya kufunza mambo na real estate.
Yes.
So now, there was a certain hole there. And you told me last time it's an underground tank.
Yes.
Now I see you have covered it with some...
by design is what we call a reinforced concrete tank.
A reinforced concrete tank.
Yes.
Thank you.
Yes. So what that means is it is a tank that is a combination of reinforcement bars and a particular ratio is specified by your structural or the project structural engineer. So it's recommended for this kind of structure. It is recommended to have this kind of underground tanks to fulfill the purpose of water reservation or water retention for uptake on the units, and also by design it's proven to be more efficient in the long term compared to other kind of structures. For example, masonry tanks. Masonry ni zile tanks za mawe watu wakijenga. We discourage those kind of tanks for this kind of projects for the simple reason is that one of the things kuna kitu inaitwa differential settlement. In other words, over a period of 1 to 2 years, mjengo itakuwa ina settle. Kulingana na weight.
Differential settlement.
So now, if you have a masonry tank, which has a lot of joints, mortar joints, so these mortar joints are potentially points of weakness.
Okay.
Now, if you're doing, if you do what we call a reinforced concrete tank, the concrete is cast at one go, and where there are joints, we have specifications on how to joint the old concrete and the new concrete, so that the joints are seamless, they are not permeable, and we do not predispose the tank to leakages. Because by design it's a structural element. In other words, ni kitu imekuwa designed kupokea uzito mwingi na kubeba maji mingi bila kuwa na hatari yote ya kuvuja.
Wonderful.
Kwa layman's.
I want to ask you a layman's question. So now, there is one column inside that hole.
Yes. Actually not one.
Will it not
we have three.
3 columns are inside the underground tank?
Yes.
Like in some corners,
Yes.
So will it not get wet maybe in future and
back again, when we are doing our concrete works, your koroga, what people call koroga, there are several additives that we do we do on our concrete. One of them is waterproofing additives, concrete admixtures for waterproofing purposes. That means one essentially is to waterproof against water permeability into the concrete and eventually into the bars, the reinforcement schedule that is on the columns. The other second role of that waterproofing is waterproofing to eliminate fissures or leakages into the ground, so that the entire structure is watertight. So the columns that you see going into the underground reinforced concrete tank are waterproofed, just as the way the walling and the pads are also waterproofed.
Okay.
Yeah.
All right, very good. Now, hapa nimesimama juu ya, is this matofali ama what do I call this?
If you see matofali, what we call I think you will encounter 2 names as references.
Okay.
Number 1, hollow blocks.
Oh, because I see they
other people, other people would call them hollow pots, but these are structural elements of this particular structural design on this particular project. So, kazi ya hii hollow blocks ndio tunakusumbua.
Yes, thank you.
Is it helps us reduce, because we are going up several stories above. We are going. We have reviewed our structural design. We are going 7 stories high.
7 stories high?
Yes, 7 stories high.
Initially it was
5 stories, 5. The 6th being the roof slab, but now we have an additional floor, the 7th being the roof slab, and we have an entertainment area and a DSQ on the 7th floor.
Whoa!
So one of the ways of...
I'll book the one on the 7th floor, the entertainment area.
It's a DSQ.
No. I mean at the last floor.
Yes.
I'll book my unit there.
Yes.
Thank you.
So what essentially hollow blocks, or combined with the reinforcement, what they normally do is help us reduce the weight of the building per slab. Because in situ concrete, ile koroga ya kawaida is ni mzito.
It's quite heavy.
Comparatively, it is very heavy compared to now when you're arranging your hollow blocks, followed by what we call ribs. Ribs, I think umetembea huko umeona, kuna chuma zina pass in between. Yeah. So strategically, so you realize that the intervals are spaced out according to the structural specification. The reinforcement that is going in between is what we call ribs, that links one beam to the other to now allow the hollow blocks to be supported. So hollow blocks, are allowing us to reduce volume of concrete, reduce the number of bars on the slab. Comparatively, this is what a traditional slab looks like when the reinforcement is done. So this is still fixing
Still fixing.
Yes, this is the reinforcement that is going into that slab. So you look at now, it's a very dense steel work.
Yeah.
Compared now to the kind of bars that are going in between the in between the hollow blocks, there are very few.
Yeah.
That also in turn means also the volume of concrete
Will be reduced.
will be reduced because we are pouring concrete
Just in
along the
between.
beams, in between the ribs, and we are also doing a 2-inch layer. If you come up tomorrow, you'll be able to see we have what we call a PRC mesh overall, distributed
On top of now the hollow blocks.
on the top of the hollow blocks.
So, is it also cost effective?
Yes,
Is it cheaper
compared,
than-
you know, like if I'm using, say, 1,500 bucks to do this entire slab, it may reduce to 900 bucks of cement.
Yeah, yeah.
If I'm using bars costing me, say, 1.5 million, it may reduce to $1 million.
That's better.
Just for purposes of illustration. So it cuts down the volume of concrete that I'm going to use. That also now in terms of material, it reduces the quantity of materials on sand, ballast, cement, water, labor. So it's a holistic cost reduction, but at the same time guaranteeing a structural element with integrity.
Nice.
Yes, yes.
All right. Then now, besides here, where you're standing, kuna mbao hapo. Hiyo ni mbao wanaitaje?
This is what we call marine boards.
Marine boards.
Yeah.
So
Mbao is what you're seeing. Timber is like what you're seeing around.
yeah, that's timber.
Yes. Or on the undersides of the beam, you might have noticed strategically kuna pali kuna mbao. But this is marine. This is basically formwork for the first floor slab. So what you're seeing overall is formwork. Or venye watu wanaitanga shutter.
Shutter. Yeah, this is the shutter.
Shutter.
Yeah.
So, but this is formwork for the first floor slab. So this is what is helping us to support the kind of works that we are doing, including the concrete that we are going to cast. So that is formed. It is formed as you are pouring it into this slab, onto this shutter. Yeah.
So from here, what happens next?
I think you've noticed that there are places that we have not done our steel fixing, the bars, so those will be completed. That BRC mesh will be done. Right now we are delaying the laying of the BRC mesh for the simple reason we have plumbers on site and electricians on site. You've seen them lay their conduits, and also seen plumbers provide for drainages and water supply strategically into functional areas where water is required overall on the entire slab. So once that is completed, we are going to do what we call an inspection of works done so far by the project structural engineer, so that we can obtain approval to proceed to concrete.
Okay.
Yeah. Once concrete works are completed for this slab, now we proceed on with works that are going to lead us to the next subsequent slab, which is the second floor. Yeah.
That's wonderful. So you mentioned plumbers, electricians.
Yes.
I was about to ask, like, what team is on site for this stage, apart from maybe the ones you mentioned?
In terms of technicians, we have carpenters, electricians, plumbers. We have our foreman. I think you've seen him. We have steel fixers.
Yeah.
You've seen the guys that are fixing the reinforcement.
Yeah.
Yeah. And we have casuals. You've seen. I think you've
Yes, I've seen some
a lot of material being moved in.
Yeah.
In strategic places within the site. Yeah.
Right.
Yeah. So it's a whole combination. So it's not just one team.
Yeah.
Yeah. Then when the concreting is done, we're going to do concreting for the columns, the starter columns for the second floor. We're going to move on to do masonry works, kujenga mawe. Tutakoroga hizo columns zote, niongea Kiswahili kwa sababu tutakoroga columns, tujenge mawe, then tuanze hiyo to repeat. Sasa ni kurudia tu sasa.
Kujirudia what you
tuanze kujenga formwork tena, tufunge chuma, tupange hollow blocks,
paka shutter,
yes, koroga tena, repeat,
yeah,
until you're done.
So now Wilson, hizi ulisema bars, the bars, not
reinforcement bars.
Reinforcement bars. The D20s. So kila floor ni D20s zina connect hivyo. By the way, how do they connect? Hiyo kitu nimejiuliza sana.
There are laps.
How do you connect that?
Kuna laps. Like you see, there's a lap over here. Minimum 800.
800 millimeters.
Yes, no, co-overlap, yeah.
Or you overlap them like this.
Yes, yes.
So that on
That,
one bar,
yes,
you'll join
yes.
with another
So,
one.
Now, case in point, on this particular project, before we do our concrete casting, we will do our column starters. Column starters are the joining column that leads from first floor to second floor.
Okay.
So umeget sasa?
Yeah, I've got
so
it.
zina join, kuna lap. Your lap ni venye zinapitana. Tunasemea nikitumia technical names.
Yeah, so then what I'm asking, so you're going to use the D20s all over? Like
No,
on every floor is D20, D20,
The structural design anticipates that as you go up, you have to reduce the number of bars.
Okay.
And also, as you realize now, the gap on our columns, or like the width around our columns is big right now. It's around 500 by 500. It's massive. So as we go up, we're going to cranking and reducing the gap of the column.
Could that be the reason why people have heard somebody say that nyumba za juu, they have a bit more space in a way than the
you
ones
don't
below?
See the columns as not as intrusive into the internal space.
The internal space, yeah.
Yes.
But on the lower units, you may see the column as
naturally, the punching shear of that building is greatest on the lower levels, but lowest on the higher level.
Okay.
Unakumbuka like to physics ya pressure?
Yes.
Beautiful. So correlate with that. Pressure is the highest
at the bottom.
Yes. And lowest tuko wapi? So naturally, as we go up, I've seen on our structural designs we are reducing the number of bars. But what is similar across all floors is the reinforcement on the beams.
Okay.
Yeah.
There's another hole here.
Yeah.
I don't know what's that for.
Yeah. This is a building that is going to be serviced by a lift apart from stairs. Yeah.
Wonderful.
Yeah. So that you can't expect naturally. Mtu apande mpaka kwa ghorofa saba na mguu.
Actually.
So hapa tunacheza na lift.
Okay. Actually, I got that comment in one of the videos that EZRA, are there no apartments in Nakuru with lifts?
There are.
But there are actually.
There are. I know quite a number that
and even this one will have it.
Yes.
Yeah. Wonderful.
Yes.
Then I heard you telling some guys here, Kona Safi.
Perpendicular, you know?
So you were shouting, Kona Safi, Kona Safi.
Yes.
What's the Kona Safi about?
We need to have symmetry. In outlook in terms of, because what they're doing now is they are doing formwork on the sides of the beam, the external fascia of the beam. So if it is not set out in the right manner, you may see protrusions or bulging of concrete. So that means the outlook of that is that our concrete work may not look aesthetically appealing. So those who are now shouting Kona Safi, so they maintain consistency of the formwork, providing for the space that is required. Between the formwork and the bars.
By the way, like, how strict are you on site? I was climbing up, then I saw this guy shouting, Kona Safi, Kona Safi.
Yes. See, the buck stops with me. You know, can you imagine a scenario you are placed in a situation where you design a building and you put it up. Then you hand over a building with flaws. Flaws as in ikona makosa here and there. Yes, human beings, we can't be 100%, but by being keen on detail, there are things you can avoid. So it's not a question, it's just ensuring everybody does their job as it's supposed to be done.
That's wonderful, actually.
So that when at the end of the day, if you're now reviewing this building and the apartments within this building, now, even for you as a real estate person with an enthusiast, you're able to appreciate the workmanship and the attention to detail that has gone into it.
The first thing I told you is the columns, just the way looking at them. You've said they are 5,000 by 5,000.
500
by 500.
500 millimeters.
I mean, looking at it, just the way it is straight from ground coming up. I mean, I appreciated that. Like, that was the first thing I noticed as I moved in.
So it comes with the territory. You have that attention to detail, not overlooking anything, understanding everything. Builds up. One element of work will build on to the next. So you can't negate one, hoping to correct something in the future.
It has to be corrected here.
Yeah, so just to avoid so much back and forth and you know scratching your head too much, just pay attention where it needs to be done, that the right thing is done at the right phase of work. Yeah.
Corner Safi.
Ni lugha ya site.
Yeah, lugha ya site. Si bora corner.
Yeah, I think you growing up you realize that kuna sheng mlikuwa mnatumia home kwenyu ukienda kwingine you apply.
Yeah, sure.
So I want to believe in every work environment, even you know back at the office.
There's a jargon for that.
Jargon iko tofauti. Ukifika kwa site, it has to be site relevant.
Yeah.
Uongeleshe mtu aelewe nini unasema. Otherwise ukikuja na hii jargon yote, to be speaking over and above them. You have to make it palatable for them to understand.
Yeah. I mean, hopefully I can. I don't know how I can twist that to be a title of the video, but I'll see how. Corner Safi, folks. Mpaka hapo.
Kazi safi yani. Kwa kifupi tu. Fanya tu kazi safi. You get a lot of peace of mind. Then kazi na trickle.
Sawa. Sina mengi. If you have any closing words, I think I'll come next.
Nyinyi wageni wangu mkam kwa next. Next mtaweza kuona rooms, distribution, venye function imekuwa distributed from one unit to another. I think looking at the renders as well, you'll be able to see and you know, to prepare yourself when you now begin to see the rooms visually. Yeah.
So, folks, that has been it from Esperanza Suites, episode 2. In my first video, I said we are building the classiest apartments in Nakuru, and they are here in the posh Naka estate. I said classy because folks have been asking, EZRA and Naka, 1 bedroom classy, 2 bedroom classy, 3 bedroom classy. Well, sometimes we don't get the classy, but we get the 2 bedrooms anyway. But these ones, stay tuned. Nitakuwa tu na nyinyi all the way once again. I love this. I'm learning. You know, I've learned some things here. Asian clothes. I've learned about marine boards. I mean, there are things to learn here. So, unaona, as a real estate enthusiast and a future developer as well, I have to be on ground. Ndio pia mimi in future nikiwa kwa project yangu, Corner Safi.